Good morning. This is late morning. Good Friday, so happy Easter and Good Friday to everybody. It has been a tough week this week. Training is heavy and things are busy, and that just because it's tough doesn't mean it's not good. It's been a good week. Lots of things going on, but what I wanted to talk about today is endurance. I'm not talking about muscular endurance or anything like that. I'm talking about endurance with training. I was fortunate enough, I guess it was Wednesday night, to be interviewed by a local sportscaster, radio show host, Joe Dubin. And I really like Joe. I've been listening to him for a long time, and this guy's just got a great spirit about him, and he's funny, and I feel, although I've only seen him a couple of times, I just feel that kindred spirit with him. And anyway, he was asking me a few questions, and it came up to something that I've talked about many times, and some of the other lifters at the gym have said much the same. I think they've come to their own conclusion as well about endurance and what that means in your training. When you've been fortunate, and I have, and several other lifters have as well, to do well and to have a modicum of success, and see some cool things happen, a lot of people will say, you're just so motivated, and again, Joe alluded to it in his questions, what motivates you. And it's like, I think motivation is kind of a tough, maybe even dangerous word, because I'll be honest, I'm not always motivated. As a matter of fact, sometimes I'm very slow to roll, and I don't want to do it. There's a lot of mileage on my body and joints, and my days are really, really long, and none of that's a bad thing, but it's just a fact. Come Friday morning and Saturday morning, my big old ass is tired. I mean, I'm tired. And the grind year after year, I say I'm going to take, more time to recharge, and honestly, there just hasn't been time. And that's a blessing, though. I mean, I am so excited to work with so many people and do the things that we get to do. But what I'm getting to is sometimes it's about the endurance. And I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios, and this is from my own team. I have a particular lifter that has had an injury that has been, not to diminish that it hurts, but it's been such a nuisance because it's affected the lifter's performance. And in doing so, it has affected the attitude. So, not doing all the workout, and I'm just, saying this in general. With this particular lifter, I had prescribed a particular auxiliary workout to help with healing and just general rehab, and I haven't really gotten any feedback about them, so I inquired as to, the status of doing them. Basically saying, hey, are you still doing these? And the answer was no. And when I asked why, they said because it was boring. Duly noted. Now, I want you to understand something as a coach, and I feel like I can speak for a lot of coaches. There are certain things that we prescribe and program, not for your entertainment. Now, our job is not to entertain you. Our job is to help you improve and make you better, and hopefully create a pathway that makes you not only successful, but a champion. And now I refrain from saying too much. Ultimately the lifter has to choose. And on the flip side of that, and I'm going to come back to this particular lifter, but on the flip side of that, I have another lifter that I coach remotely as well, who has had a myriad of health issues and some physical issues, injury, just issues. And we have numerous times had to take not just a little step back, but huge steps back, just to be able to train, and it's been a very arduous task for this particular lifter, and I know it's been frustrating. And today I got a text showing video of what the lifter expected to be a very difficult session, to the point that they said they were dreading it because they expected it to be so hard. They got done with their last warm-up and it went so well, the lifter decided they needed to change their attitude. And the thing is, and you've seen, if you follow anything that I do, you've seen me make a video of what people think progress is. We all have that visual in our head of a graph of our progress for a training cycle. In the lower left-hand corner, there's a dot, and that's your point A. And in the upper right-hand corner is another dot, and that's your point B. And the line is straight. And I've said it over and over again, that doesn't exist anywhere in nature. It's going to ebb and flow, and probably more times than not, there will be more ebb than flow. And what I mean by that, when everything's flowing, everybody wants to be a rock star, and everybody wants to train and be the strongest lifter in the world. But when it's difficult, when it ebbs, and things aren't going your way, that's when it's hard, and motivation doesn't really come into play. What it is endurance, and it's commitment. And to be enduring requires commitment. And in this particular case, someone that was probably training with a lot of time in the past 6 months with 40 and 60% of what was their 1 rep max, and we were having to work a little bit, pull back a little bit, very much wave it. That just shows great endurance, and we're starting to get back to the point of the numbers, the PRs. Now back to the other lifter. I don't want it to sound like I'm dogging this lifter, because I'm not. This particular lifter is very talented, and I know is very, very frustrated, and frustrated for all the reasons that I can completely understand. But at the end of the day, the thing that I want to keep telling you is you have to do all the things. You have to eat, you have to take your supplements, you have to rest, and you have to get all the work in. And that is the way that the coaching and the lifter is going to be the most effective. And there are some things that are not sexy, they're not fun, but for me, what is fun, especially when I'm having to do rehab, prehab stuff and those type of workouts, what is fun is when I get back to what I can do and I start winning again. That is fun. Getting up on the podium and getting a medal put around your neck for busting your ass, that's fun. And so the moral of this story is, the one that can just have that stamina and hang in there and keep digging and keep working, that's going to be your champion. And when you look at ebb and flow, everyone can do easy. It takes no talent. There are no redeeming qualities to easy. But in the ebb, that's where champions are built. And the question is, are you going to do what it takes to be a champion? When the chips are down, are you going to show up and you're going to put your deposit in and get your work done?